Hey everyone, Draculaur44 here. Hope you're all doing okay and well today. So what I'm doing is it's just a video as regards to the latest patch, which is update 1.07. Just a few kind of like recaps and just a few things about exactly what it entails, and just giving a bit of a breakdown on that, because like anything, you may not have seen the update, you might have seen the patch but not necessarily know what the notes are. So the first thing I did want to say is actually really the good side of things, is that the update contains no nerfing to skills, builds, weapons, or anything else. Now that might not sound like much, but trust me, it does happen. In the previous Nioh, one of the most frustrating things was a couple of patches. I do recall one myself where I grinded and grinded to get to level 750 as early as I possibly could. I did it, and then a week later they nerfed it and knocked it down to, I think, like level 500. I lost 250 levels for no reason at all, and I didn't even get any compensation for it. It was not a very good experience. So far, Nioh 2 hasn't done that, which is really excellent, and I'm hoping then that they continue forwards doing the same thing. But, I mean, it's like with anything. Look, balancing is a tough game. It does entail a lot of things, and maybe a lot of parts that they don't foresee when they make the original product, so I get that. But of course, as a gamer myself as well, one thing I don't want to see is builds ruined, or weapons made so they're just completely rubbish when you've worked hard to get the best out of them. So it's just things like that. But yeah, as I said, I just wanted to put your mind at rest on that one as regards to that side of things. Now, what they've done is that they have changed a few things as regards to some enemies, some submissions, and upped some drop rates, which I'm going to be going through now for you. So basically, at the moment then, what they have done is they've done a few bug fixes, which is really, really good. Not bug fixes, that was a bit of a slip of the tongue there. But yeah, like anything, I'll go through all of that. Now, they did adjust some mission difficulty of the following submissions. Now, kind of with this one, this is probably personal opinion, and I'm sure that there are going to be some of you that are going to be extremely happy with this side of things. Personally, Nioh and Nioh 2 have always been quite challenging games. They're not maybe the most challenging. I'm pretty sure some of the Dark Souls and Bloodborne were considered harder. It's a matter of opinion. I didn't play those, and I played Bloodborne only up to a certain point, so never really got that one as far as I would like. Now, with this, what they're doing is that they are adjusting the mission difficulty for the following submissions. So a favour for the blacksmith, the greedy hunter, which is that one that you have to search for 1,000,000 Kodamas, which I don't know if it's necessarily the enemies that are going to be made easier and less hard-hitting, but that seems to be what I'm getting there. The Tsunamata Yokai Hunter, the Viper and the Butterfly, the Brothers Blades, the Burning Sky, and Scattered Fragments. Now, these are all submissions that I suppose maybe they're trying to make it so they're not as difficult as the main mission, and again, I get that, because they should be short little submissions, ways to get little bits of gear and armor and things, and just to kind of maybe even get some smithing text, because some enemies do drop that as well. Just things like that. So that seems to be maybe what they're looking to kind of do. Could be based on feedback that they've had. I'm pretty sure that most companies are on Twitter and things like that now, so it may be Twitter feedback that they've had to kind of just break down and say, oh, actually, this is too hard, this is too easy, this needs balancing, blah blah, and just maybe that's what it is. The other two missions are Calling onto the Fire God and the Dream's End. So those are the sort of submissions that have been adjusted. Nothing too over the top or drastic, just literally maybe a little bit of change there. Now, they have said that also they've weakened the attacks of some non-boss enemies. So what happened is that previously you could be, say, level 50. You could go on to a level 39 mission, and an enemy could still one-shot you. Now, again, this is kind of opinion. What they've done is that they changed it so that they've made it so that the enemies wouldn't kind of kill in one hit now. So if you're level 50 and it's a level 39 mission, you've got no chance of being one-shot. It's probably going to take maybe 2, 3, depending on the enemy that you're facing. again, that is kind of opinion there. I mean, I like that Nioh is really hard. I mean, I think it teaches you to guard, to dodge, to time your attacks correctly, to do all the things that you should be doing. But on the other side, you know, it's like anything, isn't it? Some people, I'm pretty sure, is going to be very happy with that change. I'm sure, no doubt, there's going to be a few saying yes right now. So with that one, they weaken some attacks of the Shibata Katsule. Yeah, I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. Katsule. Not very good with Japanese names, but you can correct me in the comment below if you want to say it correctly. They are especially difficult to dodge. So I gather that is a particular enemy that you face a little later on. I'm probably not at that point yet, so it's probably just reduced the tracking that some enemies have. I do find that the tracking is a little crazy, and I kind of wouldn't mind that if they change that a little bit, because I've had it with, say, like a yokai. He does a great big sort of axe jump slam. I roll out the way completely, and he still hits me, and I'm like, well, I should have just guarded that or just used the burst counter. Sometimes, you know, I'll use the burst counter, sometimes I'll dodge, but it's situational. But yeah, it's got a hell of a tracking, so hopefully that's a good thing, extending the quality of life within the game. They did say that they buffed the drop rate of the smithing text and the art of combat, so again, smithing text more frequently dropped. I guess it's not a bad thing, because one of the hardest things, again, in Nioh is sometimes you could kill an enemy 20, 30, 50 times and just not get any smithing text from it. I know that, like, for myself, there's a dual swords that the Tengu drops, called, I think it's the Quick Drawn Crow, and I farmed that enemy for, yeah, I've farmed him a fair few times, I'd say 12, 15 times. I mean, you fight them during the game anyway, but there's areas where they are at that you can just farm, especially like the Twilight mission. There's a Tengu at the end and things, and yeah, it just doesn't drop it. So, you know, maybe an improvement there is not such a bad thing. Can look quite positively on that one. It's like anything, isn't it? Just kind of a balanced thing. They have added difficulty to the search condition of random encounters. So again, I imagine that is when you're searching to join someone. It looks like you can choose the different sort of Nioh settings. So if you've completed the game once, twice, 3 times, all that thing, you can actually set it to how you want. So it just refines the search a little bit more, because again, when I've done it before, joined a friend, it does seem to be very temperamentally joining them in the first place. So hopefully it just narrows down that search and just makes it a little bit easier. The next one I do really like. I think this is a really, really good change. It's something very small, but it is really, really handy, and that is that they added the accessories tab to the tempering menu. I did do a video on this alongside my Tengu glitch, where he just goes a bit crazy. And afterwards I went through a bit of blacksmith. Again, I'm sure a majority of you know this already, but, you know, I didn't know when I first started the game, and there may be people that just haven't heard of that. And what it is that you can actually temper skills on the accessories themselves, just like you can weapons and armor. But they've now added a tab that allows you to actually just access the accessories directly, rather than scrolling down through all of your gear that you have, armor, weapons and all that. It's a good change, really positive and happy about that one. And they added a feature to initialize settings on the HDR settings. I'm not quite sure really like what that does necessarily, but I'm sure it's a good quality of life thing, just to maybe improve the sort of like the overall quality or whatever, the picture most likely. Now they did fix some bug fixes as well. They fixed an issue where the level of the shifting skill Devour Yokai Realm would reset when performing a reset on other skill trees. Bit of a pain, I suppose. The level of Devour Yokai Realm and the overused skill points will be fixed in this update. So, thumbs up on that. Anything that is a bug fix, I'm always all out for, really, because at the end of the day, bug fixes are very frustrating. Glitches are never good, and some companies do leave glitches way too long. But it looks like they've, you know, taken feedback about on board of what has been happening, and they have actually kind of like done that, which is really good. They fixed an issue where custom active level skills would remain set to an active skill slot when a reset of the samurai skill tree was performed. Okay, interesting, yeah. And they fixed an issue in the dojo where an acquired tea utensil would disappear when completing the mission. Oh, that's handy. So again, a really good one to have fixed. They did fix an issue in the dojo where the player could obtain duplicates of a smithing text. if a player had not already turned in the next text in question to the blacksmith. Oh, that's an interesting one. So if you hadn't already done it, you could have more than one. Don't know what that did for you, but yeah, that would be a little bit of a pain, especially if it's certain enemies, they drop more than one smithing text, so I guess that could be a little bit frustrating. They fixed an issue where the Kodama Bazaar, the stock of items would not increase when using a skill. It would increase the maximum amount of items a player could possess. Oh, yeah, okay, again, a solid bug fix there. They fixed an issue where twice as many items would be sold when selling the items in the storehouse. Not sure what that would do, whether that gave you more gold or whether that just sold more of your items. Yeah, let me know in the comments below what that one was. Was it an exploitable glitch, or was that just an unfortunate error that was actually a hindrance? So let me know on that one. Fix an issue where a vigil of certain weapons while sheathed was reversed when wearing Youngblood Cuirass. Yeah, okay. And they fixed an issue in the mission Bird in a Cage where it's not possible to give dung balls to Ryu no Jojo, the dung lover. I can't pronounce that name very well, but you know what I mean. So yeah, again, that would be probably very frustrating that you couldn't maybe proceed in that particular mission. That would be a pain. So yeah, definitely a good one. They fixed an issue in the mission Rain Draws Near where the player could not ring the bell. Again, a good quality of life change. Thumbs up on that one. And they fixed an issue in the mission A Way Out where the Yoko realm would not be dispelled when the boss spawned object was destroyed. Yeah, that could be really, really irritating. So they've obviously taken quite a lot of feedback about these errors that are happening, and it's really good to see that they've, you know, already fixed it and kind of like gone into it straight away as quick as they can. Thumbs up on that one. They did fix an issue in the mission The Golden Castle where the boss would not run out of Kai and could not be knocked down at times where certain conditions were fulfilled. I do find actually that enemies are extremely hard to stagger anyway, so I don't know if that's a good thing. Well, I suppose it is a good thing really, but you know, I don't know how much of a difference that would make. But bosses are really hard to stagger anyway, so maybe it just makes it a little bit more possible. But it does seem very specific to the Golden Castle, so it's probably just that mission. They did face an issue in the multiplayer version of the mission Strat Cats where the mission would not end. Yeah, highly annoying. I'm sure that would frustrate a fair few people. And they fixed an issue in the missions The Fire Gods Magnetama where an unattainable blue treasure box location was placed on the compass. That drove me mad. Only yesterday I was on that mission and it drove me crazy. I could not understand where the chest was because I could see it on my map, but I couldn't actually access it. So there's quite clearly it was a bug with that one, and they fixed it. That was yesterday before the update that I was doing it, so clearly that was being pointed out as well. They fixed an issue in the mission Sharp Eyes where a player could not get unwritten when completing the mission, and they fixed an issue where a Baya Baku Boku near a shrine would activate a bloody grave when the player is praying at the shrine. Oh, that would be highly irritating, especially if you're literally just near the shrine, you're wanting to pray to save your progress, and then it does something like that. It could be a kind of a case of between life and death if you're really low and no elixirs and things. Yeah, that would be horrific. Glad they fixed that one. They fixed an issue where the drenched state would not be removed when bathing in a hot spring while being drenched. So I guess it would be status effects from what I gather there. They fixed an issue where the ladder could not be used when certain enemies died with poison while the player was climbing the ladder. Weird bug, okay. They fixed an issue where co-fighting NPCs could not be assisted when they went down and simultaneously fell off the cliff. An interesting one. I've never seen that one, but however, I'm sure it happened. They did fix an issue where a custom active skill setting in the active skill Sword Kai was not applied to the active skill Sword of Celerity. Again, that just seems to be kind of like a thing where for some reason they weren't linking together, I guess. So yeah, good that that's fixed. They did fix an issue where Kai was consumed before the active skill Swirling Snow was executed. Very nice. Always happy to see that those things are fixed, just like the other one. And they fixed an issue where equipment effects and custom active skill settings, according to the active skill, Deadly Spiral, were not applied. So it seems to be a lot of different skill issues that were causing problems. So they've obviously addressed those, which is fantastic. And they fixed an issue where the custom active skills were not applied when Mystic Art Trained Throw is applied to the active skill Piercing Shadow/Light. Now I realise that some of these may not apply to you as a player. It probably depends where exactly you are. and that is something that, yeah, so like myself, some of these I do not know because I haven't got quite that far. I'm just at the end of region 2 and I'm working through it as when I can. They did fix an issue where the grapple move the hatchets where the grab would not follow through, so yeah, I do find that an issue in general actually, so I hope they look at that again. And they fixed an issue where custom active skill settings to the skill Windswept was not applied. Fair enough. The last one is a fixed an issue where the switch glaive, where you could perform the special switch dances Retribution and Edge without having unlocked the skills. That sounds like one that would have been taken advantage of and would have been quite handy early on. I guess that them fixing it is probably, you know, a balance, and although it might be frustrating for a few of you out there, yeah, I can kind of understand that one. And then it just says various bug fixes, so minor fixes, so there isn't much else for that one. So that is the recap of everything. Again, like I say, a big massive part is that they haven't nerfed any builds, skills, weapons, or anything like that. To take from it, they really just kind of made the balancing of the submissions a little bit easier in regards to toughness, and enemies can't now one-shot you. And then they've made some just adjustments to various skills for various different weapons, just to make sure that they're working and so on, which is really cool. So that's it. Look, you know, I hope that that was helpful and informative. I know that it's lasted for around about 16 minutes, and look, you know, at the end of the day, that's why I've been running background footage for you to watch as well there, so just to make sure it's not just me reading a load of things. But look, hopefully that is helpful. If there's any feedback you want to pass on or give me, it'd be very much appreciated. There's always things I can do to improve. I'm still a new YouTuber, like I've said before there, and there's still things like speaking properly that I could improve on, so do let me know in the comments below. If you want to subscribe, that would be fantastic. It helps me out, and of course helps me grow on what I'm trying to do, and I'm going to be posting as many videos on Nioh 2 as I can, and trying to help and just break down things that I'm experiencing, things you might not know, and maybe, you know, various other parts. So any suggestions or ideas, awesome. And if you want to drop a like, then fantastic. You know, at the end of the day, that always helps. I will put the link of the update notes in the description below, so if you want to just have a quick read, by all means do so. I do understand that that may be an option you decide, but otherwise that is it for me. So look, thank you very much for taking the time to actually have a look and watch my channel, and that's it really. So all the best for the future. You take care, and I'll speak to you very soon. Okay, nice one. Cheers.
Kill.